What's the worst thing someone you thought you loved has ever done to you? I was 27 when I fell in love, hard, for the first time. I've never been in a relationship before. I was always the nerd with her nose buried in a book. Then this guy at work took interest in me. After 4 months we were officially together. After another 2 months I lost my virginity to him. He never once used protection because he doesn't like the feeling, so it was up to me to manage not getting pregnant. I never thought of getting some form of protection for myself when there are already so many options from pills to injectables. Then one night, I had a feeling this was the one time I'd get pregnant. But he begged me and I gave in. And I was right. First week of August 2014, I took my first ever pregnancy test and with trembling fingers, found out I'm pregnant. I called him and told him the news. He said he's happy and I was relieved. Somehow we'll weather this, I thought to myself. Throughout my first trimester, it was just an emotional roller coaster. One time he suggested abortion. I asked him why he would suggest that. He said it seems I'm not ready to be a mother. And I thought, really? You effing asshole? You're the one who has become non-existent and unsupportive. Just because I'm crying all the time because of hormones I'm not ready to be a mother? I ignored that specific red flag. I ignored a lot of things. At 37 weeks, I went into labor. I called him and told him the news. He didn't believe me. He said he thought it was impossible before 40 weeks. He was at work and refused to pick me up to go to the hospital. I was embarrassed that I had to call my mom and she had to travel 90 minutes just to pick me up. After 16 grueling hours, my daughter was born by a C-section. I remember exactly when the doctor placed her on my chest right after she was born. The doctors all exclaimed that she was beautiful and looked exactly like me. We stayed in the hospital for 3 days, but the biological father, my partner, never came. He had so many excuses. After that I went home with my parents. He visited only twice, first when my daughter was a month old and second when she was 2 months old. Despite all, I stayed connected with him and tried to understand all his excuses. He never provided for us. After 2.5 months I went back to work. I traveled 5 hours a day. I got home at 10 p.m. and many nights I never slept because she was a difficult baby. She cried constantly and woke up every 2 hours until she was 8 months old. I gained a lot of weight. I stopped taking care of myself. Many times I wanted to die, while holding her and trying to stop her from crying at night. Every day was a struggle. And I had no one beside me to comfort me. After 2 years of waiting for my partner to step up, I decided I deserve better. My daughter deserves better. We don't need him in our lives, so I cut him off, stopped communicating. And today it's been almost a year and I've proven that he never really cared.